Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Real Life with Tony and Jen. Do us a favor, if you like our content, please subscribe, like, you can share it if you want, and there's a bell that you can hit that every time we post a new video, you'll get a notification. So if you could do that, that would be wonderful. I'm gonna throw a curveball at my wife today.
Which means I don't know what we're talking about.
She doesn't know what's coming. Well, I mean, it's not like it's something you would disagree with.
Okay.
I just, I was inspired this morning by a conversation.
This morning?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well, we were on the phone earlier. So, we were over a friend's house one day, and we were having a conversation, and Jennifer and I were kind of getting into it. And a friend of ours said, Tony, you better be careful. You're not going to get any tonight. And I was like, I'm not going to get any tonight. What about her? So that created a conversation that I think needs to be had. To be had? Is that the right? Am I saying that right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I believe there's a big misconception. You can chime in anytime you want, babe, because you're giving me that look right now, where sex is somewhat only a reward for the husband. Yeah. And I can tell you, like I told our friend, I don't know why you're under the impression that I'm not going to get any later, that somehow I'm the only one that's going to get punished, when I personally feel that yours are better than mine.
Why do you gotta make me talk about stuff that makes me feel uncomfortable talking about?
Because this is how we've made it so far. We talk about things that are uncomfortable.
We talk about it.
Right.
Now we're talking about it.
Right. That's the purpose
I understand
of the podcast, is to get people.
This is more private.
Right. But everyone in marriage hopefully does it. I think there's a big misconception that, it's only somehow a reward for the husband. And these are the kind of things that I'm trying to break down. I think that if that is the issue...
Oh, there's a problem then.
Then there's a problem. If it's only a reward for the husband, then something's wrong. It should be just as enjoyable for the wife as the husband.
I feel that a lot of women...
Oh, you feel?
I do. I do feel that a lot of women feel that way because of how the men are.
It's very possible.
So if the men are just...
Selfish. Guys, let me just chime in here real quick. If you're sitting here, you're watching this video with your husband and your wife, you guys are sitting watching this together. Husbands, listen to me. She's the number one priority. Make sure she's happy first. We know we're easy. We can pretty much make it happen at any time. My advice is make sure the wife is happy first.
Agreed.
Yeah. It's such a simple formula. It's a formula that's worked.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't always that way in our relationship.
Right.
Which is why he is this way now, because you got to work through things. So if that is the issue in your relationship, then clearly you need to work on that, because it's for both of you. So if one person is God created it for a husband and wife to enjoy.
Right.
So if you're not enjoying it,
we men and women both have the ability to have an orgasm. I don't know if you know that or not. Obviously.
I'm curious.
Well, listen. Let's stay on topic. We all know it's easier for men. We get that. We're a little different. We're wired differently. But that's why it's even more important that men make sure that they just figure out what works.
I wanted to say something, but it will kind of go off topic right there.
Okay.
But I feel like sometimes it's not always easier for men, because a lot of men have been addicted to pornography.
That's 100%. 100%. And that's going to be a whole different video. Because that could be a
another thing
serious
to work
problem.
through. Yes.
Yeah. But I think that, and here's another thing. I'm going to put this on the wives. You have to tell us what you want. You have to tell us what to do.
In Tony's words, I'm not a mind reader.
I'm not a mind reader.
I'm not a mind reader. You got to tell me.
And here's the thing. Here's what she's learned. Just tell me to do it and I'll do it. Now, granted, I don't always do it right.
But you try.
But I try. And here's the nice part. It's fun to practice, you know. So, you know, after 22 years of marriage, so here's something I believe that I think a lot of people, again, another big lie, a misconception is
warped thinking, in my opinion.
Right, that the longer you're married,
and the older you get,
the less likely the marriage is going. Like a lot of people think the longer you're married equals things shouldn't get better. Things are going to get worse, so to speak. Where we have somehow managed to achieve a better marriage all around over time. Mm-hmm. It's gotten better. And we don't say that to brag. We're not coming on here ever to.
Oh, and we're not perfect. We still work through things.
Right. We just had something happen last week. It was like, okay, try not to do that anymore. But I again, let's stay on topic. You know, there's this big misconception that somehow it's a reward for the husband only and not for the wife. And if that is the case, that's something that needs to.
And we're not talking about people that have medical conditions or things that prevent certain things.
Right.
Because there's a slim.
Yeah. There's a small percentage of issues where, you know, it's a medical issue. We're not talking to people that have legit excuses as to why it can't happen. But, you know, back to the conversation, I think that's actually probably, and you guys tell us, leave some comments. We want you guys to engage in these videos. We want you guys to leave comments because we want to hear what you guys have to say. We want to hear if you have something that you think would help. Do you disagree? Do you agree? Are you grateful that now that you watch this video that you guys, you know, you and your spouse have something to talk about that you probably didn't feel comfortable talking about before? But I think that's almost the norm. It's the norm it's, you know, the husband's reward.
Right. I mean, God made it for us to come together and not once a month, not once every 6 months, you know.
Yeah.
Frequently.
Yeah. So guys, in the comments, just leave what you guys think is normal or what's healthy or.
Right. Because we've had lots of conversations and we've been surprised where I've heard like maybe a couple's only having sex once a month. I just don't think that's healthy. I don't.
Well, it's not healthy. And the thing about it is, you know, when you put it on the back burner, and over time, if you keep putting it on the back burner, it just becomes something that awkward. Yeah, it becomes awkward.
You don't want to kiss because it's awkward. You don't want to do things because it's awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, I know women that,
oh boy,
without getting too personal, only will do stuff for the husband if it's a birthday.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's our anniversary.
Yeah.
So I'm just confused on that.
Yep.
Do you not love your partner?
Yeah.
I mean, why would you deprive your partner of something that they want that's not hurting you or killing you?
Killing? I think
that you guys agree upon. Now, let me back up. That you guys agree upon, you know, both of you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to say that.
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing that's too crazy that's going to cause issues.
Right.
But the bottom line is this: that you should, I would think. So okay, I'll go ahead and say this. My goal, when Jennifer and I have sex, my goal is for her to enjoy it first. I don't even thinking about me most of the time. In the beginning, my goal is to make sure that she's satisfied.
Let me say something, and I really hope there's no children listening.
There's a button you can hit. No
like
children.
He just said, now women, I understand you're not always feeling it. You're not always going to want to have sex. I get that. But I still will try with my husband, but I let him know I'm not going to fake an orgasm because I think that's wrong.
Appreciate that.
I just let him know, hey, honey, I want you to enjoy it, but I'm just going to take a pass on this one. But let's just,
She's taking one for the team.
Yes, I'm
Right.
taking one for the team. I don't believe in lying. I don't believe in faking an orgasm and things like that. I just feel like that's deception.
Yeah, Jen will let me know. All right, and I'll get the tap.
I give the tap.
Get the tap. Okay, let's move it along.
Wrap it up.
And I don't even get upset about it. I don't get upset about it anymore. Maybe in the beginning I used to be. It used to hurt my ego, but I just understand that sometimes it's no matter what I'm doing, it's not working. No matter what you're doing, it's not working, and we're okay with that. But I will say this: this is something that's changed in our marriage over the years. Is that if I choose quality over quantity now. Not saying that's always been the case. It hasn't. But I'll say, hey, look, if you know it's not going to happen, I'll just wait, and I'll wait for the next day. But I will say this: there's been times where you're like, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, and then it happens.
Sure.
Yeah. So
That's because with women, a lot of it is in our mind. Like, we have so much going on where I feel like men can just shut off much
Oh, yeah.
easier than
Oh, yeah.
we can.
Absolutely.
So, when you're stressed, and I know sex is a great stress reliever,
is.
but it's still hard to sometimes get to that point where you're like, okay, this is going to
Yeah.
make me feel better.
Right.
This is good for me.
That's why. So I have something what I call now nobody's home sex. So nobody's home sex is it's just a different level because you got to worry about. Now I get it, and some of you are going to say, hey, and we think we talked about it in another video. We used to say we're on a phone call, you can't bother us. Nowadays, you guys got iPads, you can keep your kids busy. But I'll take a if you're not in the mood, I'll take a pass. Not a problem. I'd rather wait.
I know.
Yeah, but but back to nobody's home sex. That's where I was going. Nobody's home sex. It's funny because for the first 13 years of our marriage, there was
Kids in the house all the time.
kids in the house all the time. So once that dynamic changed, and suddenly it was, man, there's nobody home. I'm not gonna.
Tony enjoyed it much more.
There was some different noises.
Tony!
There were different noises. There were different. Oh, I'm just saying, like we didn't have to be quiet. So I was like, dang, I've been missing out on that for.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Which is hey, that's perfectly okay. Listen, here's another thing. We'll end this on this note. We are living proof. We are living proof that if you talk, if you communicate, if you're healthy and you're taking care of yourself, I promise you, we are living proof. It can get much better. You may think you have a great sex life, but it can get a whole. You guys are going to be like, you guys always talk. We're not always going to talk about sex. I'm just saying this isn't really about sex. This is about the misconception that it's just a reward for men, and that women don't enjoy it as much, which I personally think is not true. If you're doing it right, but I just think that you should, it can get better over time.
I can.
Yeah. This now I promise I'm gonna leave it on this one. We actually kiss more now after 22 years of marriage. And when I say kiss, I'm talking
Make out.
make out.
Sorry.
More now than we have before. Hold on, that reminds me of something. We were watching. Hold on. I promise, because you remember this. We were watching a movie with a friend of ours. The wife, the husband wasn't around. We're watching a movie. You know where I'm going with this? And in the movie, an elevator opened, and in the elevator, a husband and wife were making out big time. And our friend, who we won't name, said, "Yeah, right." And we were like, What do you mean, yeah, right? She goes, psh, people that are married don't make out like that.
Tony always tries to tongue me in an elevator and be inappropriate. Let's just leave it at that.
But I'm like, well, unfortunately, she believes that maybe that's the deal in her marriage. But I'm like, no, we still do that. And she didn't believe us at first. She's like, no, you don't. We're like, what do you mean, no, we don't?
Well,
of course
I
we do.
think people, I know we're wrapping it up, but I think people think when they get older, they can't make out anymore and they can't do stuff like that.
right.
And you can.
Right. Of course
I
you can.
mean, that's just weird.
We do it. Anyway, we're going to leave it there.
Please.
Okay. Jen, please just kill it here. So anyway, hopefully this, like I said, once again, guys, these videos are just because we've lasted 22 years, thankfully, thank God. We've worked through a lot of things. By no means is our marriage perfect. We are still a work in progress, but we wanted to just share these videos with you guys just because if you watch the videos, it's going to create conversations, and it might create conversations that haven't happened that need to happen.
Yep.
All right. Do you want to say anything?
Nope, I'm good on this one.
All right, guys. Well, we love you, and
we love you.
so does Jesus.
That's your line.
No, that's okay.
It's weird for me to say that.
All right.
Because you
Love you
always
guys.
say that.
So does Jesus. Peace out.